So on our last video, we had somebody comment and they asked, did you fail? I'm here to say no, I did not fail. I think, one of our goals with the Road to Leadville series was to document the training for a 100-mile race and what it takes, every single day, what it takes every single week, the behind-the-scenes process of it. And to be honest with you, it got to a point where, these last couple of weeks, or I would say last maybe 2 months of training, it's been very repetitive. When we first started this process, we were at 62 weeks out. We are now at 16 or 17 weeks. We're at a point now where training is very repetitive. It's 2-3 hour runs a day. It's Saturdays, you get a 5-hour run. It's to a point now where, we can't do justice for you guys for these videos where we're giving you, different scenarios or different videos, because it's not really that exciting right now. And it sucks to say it because we're trying our best to balance everything that we can. But no, I did not fail. We're about 16 weeks out, I think. I have to look at the whiteboard. But training is going great. We've smashed a bunch of PRs the last couple months, 30+ mile runs, all out zone testing, threshold test PRs, a lot of things that, 60 weeks ago, I probably never imagined I'd be able to do. But now being 16 weeks out, we're at a point now where, videos will return, the training is changing, things are starting to move in a different direction now. And I'm excited to get back into that gist and show you guys, what we're doing. So the first mock race, the first trail mock race that we did was essentially a shit show. It was super last minute. It was really thrown together. I think I rushed the entire idea and process. Everything was rushed. I texted a couple of my buddies who had run ultras, and we decided to go back to Graham Hills because that's where we were all familiar with running. Quarter of the way in. Feel good. 131. Came out 7.7. Felt good. This was like a whole new loop, a whole new part of the route that Nick took us on. But no, I feel great. We didn't stop at all. The only time we stopped were there were all the bikers. We actually caught up to them twice. But I feel good. Essentially, I had reached out to my friend Nick, who trains at Graham Hills a lot, and I told him, I said, hey, listen, I have a mock race that I want to try to do. I want to have you lead it. I want you to have me, pace me out, take me on the loop that is the longer loop. That was, I think we picked the 10-mile loop. I said, let's do that. I've never done this trail before. I've never done this loop before, but I'm confident. I'm going to put all of my trust in you. And we started the day, and I was not prepared at all, I'll just be honest. We were all on a different wavelength of understanding of what the goal was. Christian and Max's goal was to do one lap and one loop, essentially. And I think when you combine those four, you get the result of what happened that day, and I failed. I bogged out of that. I was the last one in there. Those three had left, and it had gotten to a point where, my pacing was completely off. I was running a half trail marathon at a pace that was just too fast for me. That was my first trail marathon ever. And Nick and Christian and Max are pushing, 10-minute miles in that trail that on a route I've never run before. At elevation that, I don't even know, I'd have to pull it up to see what our elevation gain was for that run. So we are at just a little bit over mile 15. Both my quads and my hamstrings are completely locked up. Made a big mistake of not bringing fuel with me on the second loop, and I'm starting to feel it now. We're almost at 3,000 feet of elevation gain, which is a lot. It's probably the most that I've done in this entire prep. And I think I'm gonna be doing the last 2 laps, or last 3 or 4 laps solo. It's a little late, it's already 1 o'clock, everyone's headed out. We're in here for 3.5 hours already. So we're making good time. That last loop though, I was probably the worst shape I've been in. I fell a bunch. My quads both completely locked up at one point. I face planted. Now my hamstrings are starting to overcompensate. So I don't really know. I think ideally it's probably smarter to not keep going, but I'm already here. And I don't want to not finish. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to fill up my pack, probably go for maybe 2 of my own loops, see how far I can get, and I guess just take one for the team. My body is in a lot of pain though. Definitely in a lot of pain. See you guys later. I'm at mile 17. We're at almost 4,000 feet of total elevation gain for this run. And man, I am feeling it more than you guys know. I mean, I want to stop so bad, but the fear of failure is what pushes me to not stop. I will stop when my body stops. That's when I will stop. Mentally, I'll keep going, but when my body tells me enough is enough, that's when I'll stop. And I'm gonna keep going until my body tells me the game is over. So we're heading back down. We just got to the top. We just got to the peak. Heading back down. We'll reevaluate when we get down there. If you fail to prepare, prepare to fail. And I did not prepare accordingly. I did not take into consideration the level of elevation gain that we would be facing on this particular loop. You guys have seen I've run Graham Hills every week for the past 3 months now, and I've never seen that part of the trail where it is a straight climb, straight descend. So you live and you learn. I'm gonna take what happened today, learn from it, get better, come back, and just improve. That's all I can do. So we're gonna get back down, refill, see how I feel, check the time, pick up the camera when I get to the bottom. Oh God, my quads are the problem right now. They're like not working. Like 10 steps, my quads just buckle. Let me do one more loop. I learned a lot from that day. I think I bogged out or tapped out at mile 22, I think. Yeah, I realistically, I think at that point, the level of trail running that I was doing, I don't think my body was ready for. My legs cramped out. You know, I had reached a point where I had burned through all my fuel. I had no fueling strategy. I had essentially no plan. So one of the fun parts about, you know, when you decide to do something 62 weeks out is life could change. You know, a lot of things can happen. In the last 50 weeks, you know, I've had a wedding ceremony. I've announced I'm having a 3rd kid. And I think that, you know, those were things that, you know, having another child, you know, you don't really plan for 62 weeks out, or, you know, I didn't plan that, obviously. And when we found out that we were having another baby, realistically, both of us, Kaylee and I both were like, when is the due date? Because this could be bad. And we found out that, we're going to be having a baby a week before Leadville, a week and a half before Leadville. I think that realistically, like I said, having 2 whys of being able to, have my why of my family, and that is my main priority, as well as, being responsible for my company and training, and those are my other whys. I think that I'm able to balance both of them. I know that I'll be thinking about them, all 3 of my kids and my wife, while I'm on my run, while I'm going, through the emotional process of, being able to push myself when I really need it. I know that I've been in a lot of training sessions so far where I've needed to hit that emotional point of needing to, really drive home that is my why. But it's, just another part of the process that I have to, emotionally overcome. I know that as soon as that race is over, I will be headed right to the airport to go home to see my week and a half old baby and my 2 children and my wife. But there's nothing I can do about it. I'm committed to this race. I'm committed to this process, and it's just something that in a couple of years we'll all laugh about and joke about, and it'll make for a great story. A couple of friends and I, we were joking about, trying to find a feasible distance or a destination that we could run to that, kind of played into a 5.5, 6 hour run. When we were joking around, one of my buddies says, what about running to the Statue of Liberty? Yeah, I got the camera. I just saw this. And when you're from New York, it's kind of entwined in us to understand, judging distance of from here to Manhattan, from here to Statue of Liberty, from here to Times Square. You just have that kind of understanding of where things are. And for me, I kind of, when he said running to the Statue of Liberty, my brain kind of started trying to map out the process of how to get there. So I thought to myself, okay, I'm gonna run to Riverdale, and then I could just cut over the Henry Hudson, take West Side Highway, and I can get right through West Side Highway right down to Manhattan. When you think about it, you're like, oh, that's doable, I could do that. And then it got me thinking, I'm like, wow, I actually have a 5.5 hour, 6 hour run planned for this coming Saturday.
Yeah, this is gonna be your long haul right now.
Alright.
Like unassisted.
Yeah.
So you're saying I should put it in all of my pockets?
100%.
You're right. Oh, nectar.
to a dark place. Frank's going to a really, really dark place. A half a mile. All right, so just made it to the Statue of Liberty. 30.5 miles clocked in together with these guys. Starting Scarsdale and the Statue of Liberty. Good run. Right, we all battled our own battles. Made it to the Statue of Liberty. We're in this piece of shit city, so you can't actually get to the Statue of Liberty to go take a nice picture of it because you have to pay to play here. Outside this place is a shithole, but it's all good. Made it here. Feel great. I need fucking food really badly. Frank is fasted.
I'm so dead, dude.
Frank
I'm
died.
so dead.
Frank died. Came back to life. Died. Came back to life.
A million times.
But I want to do this run again. Nick is turning 30, so for his 30th birthday, maybe we'll come back. It's actually in 4 days. Okay, but no, great run. Wouldn't want to do it with any other guys. And we gotta head back to Westchester now because I'm fucking starving and I need to eat really badly. So let's get in the car and head the fuck out.
Yeah. Let's go.
It will probably be one of my most fun, memorable races, or runs, I should say, in a really long time. It was, you know, the perfect storm. I think that was probably, of all my runs I've done in this prep for Leadville, the perfect storm of how I fueled before, how I fueled during. I think that I had a great pace. Our group everybody ran strong. You know, we were all confident. We were, we understood, a good pace for that type of run. And I think that was my first session of this entire prep where I hit my goal and I legitimately felt like I could go back and do it again. And that was huge for me. I was super confident. I walked away from that run. If I had more time, I probably would have tried to go back. But no, that was a great run. I'm super happy. The guys that came with me and we were able to do it, and I'd love to do it again. When we first started this process, I think I put a lot of weight on my pacers. I think my goal was to get as many people around me as possible that would buy into this process. And I'm not worried about them because I do know that, my brother and Anthony, when it's time to get into it, they'll be there for me. I'm not nervous for them. I think that, those are the two people that I would want to go to battle with, and I think that that's an important, aspect when you are picking somebody like this for something like this. But I'm confident in them that, they're training as much as they can. We haven't ran together in a couple weeks. Actually, Anthony and I just did a run together, a 10-miler, and he did okay, but, still got to put in the work. My brother mountain bikes every week. He's been running. Really at the end of the day, I just need them there for moral support. I need them to be able to push me when I'm at mile 60 and I'm coming back down from Hope's Pass, and I think that they're going to be able to do it.
I wouldn't say so. I'm probably not really too worried, honestly. I mean, he's been training for this now for, I don't know at what point this video is coming out, but it's been about 9 months, right? If I'm correct. So, the amount of mileage that he's been able to train with and been able to tack on over the past 9 months, I'm not really too concerned, honestly. He's already done the run to the Statue of Liberty. He's already done the run to our New York gym, to the Connecticut gym. So he's already done these long mile runs. If anything, I'm just curious to see what his state is going to be when he gets to my station where I got to start pacing him. I'm curious to see how out of breath he's going to be, but I'm really not too concerned about him finishing it. I think he's going to be able to do it. My training specifically has been relatively light so far. I'm not coming from a running background, so I've kind of had to slowly adjust into running more miles per week over the past 6 to, I think actually it's been 8 months now since I really started. But yeah, I've been mixing in some light runs with some longer runs, like 10, 15 miles. And on top of that, I'm still continuing with my strength training and then doing some like HIIT workouts. And yeah. And now, especially too, as it's getting a little warmer out, I've also been doing more mountain biking, because that's actually what my background is I'm a mountain biker. So just mixing that in with running and then my strength training, it's been relatively good so far, so yeah.
So when we first started these videos, this whole Road to Leadville series, our actual goal from the very beginning was to film an entire documentary at the very end and to launch it at a theater and make it a whole process of, you know, going through training for a 100-mile race. This Road to Leadville docu-series are kind of videos that we've filmed along the way that we've cut up to post to YouTube for you guys. So it's not that we're not filming, it's not that we're not documenting the process. The goal is to, you know, launch that 50+ minute video at the very end. These are just videos that, you know, we've cut together throughout the process that we're now posting to the YouTube channel for Road to Leadville. So it's not that we're not filming, you know, it's not that we're not training, it's that we're, you know, that's still the goal. It's just that we haven't been able to launch these videos as frequently as we had planned to. You know, we're still 100% committed to this. You know, I've literally been running every single day, so I don't really know. That guy who commented, you know, did you fail? I didn't fail. We just don't post the videos as much. But you know, other than that, if you guys enjoy these videos and want us to continue to post them, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you're new, and go buy IVX.
It's good.
It's good. And this is tasty. I got one right here. This is the best flavor right here. Definitely the best flavor. So, citrus, strawberry mango. Strawberry mango is definitely the favorite, I would say. Everybody's been crushing this one, but in my opinion, the next one, which is coming soon, that's gonna be the best one, I think. I think that's gonna be, everybody in this office thinks it's the best one.
Yeah,
100%.
What do you think, Anya?
You like that one? Oh, I said it. Shit.
I'll leave it out. Please.